case of a missing Olathe woman here in Overland Park. On Friday, December 19th, the Overland Park Police Department received a call from KU officials at about 11:55 a.m. Shortly thereafter, our first officers arrived at the Edwards campus. As I understand, while Ms. Khan is a student at the community college, she attends classes as part of the facilities at the Regents Center, which is next door. We received information that at that time that her sister had received a strange phone call from her about an individual who had possibly been harassing her there at that location, and that when she went to the location to find her, all she found was her books, her backpack, some of her electronics. After that period of time, we had the opportunity to start an investigation and proceed forward. That investigation has been ongoing since Friday, and a lot has been accomplished today. Right now, we currently have 10 detectives working on this case, as well as over 50 officers in total. We have deployed our mounted search and rescue unit, which includes civilian volunteers on horseback. And we have requested assistance from the FBI, Olathe Police Department, and the law enforcement agencies of KU and Johnson County Community College. We are following various leads, including interviews with family members, friends, KU students, staff members, and construction workers who are working nearby. And I'd like to go over those efforts to date and give you some idea of what we have been able to accomplish. Hold on. Obviously, this is a picture of Miss Aisha Khan. You should already have that, but if you do not have it available for your storage, we will have it available for you as well. This is the young lady in question, the one that we're looking for. Hold on. Right here is the KU campus, the Edward campus, right here on this corner on Clavera and 127th Street. In this area, and I'm not certain exactly where it looks like from here, she was in kind of an outdoor alcove or a patio area and was studying for a final test that afternoon. So we have canvassed this entire area here, talking to students, talking to faculty, talking to other individuals. Move on. In addition to that, we have thoroughly searched the creek bed and the wooded area which accompany it all the way from 69 Highway clear down past 127th Street. Move on. In addition, we have searched the Overland Park Golf Course area, the Clavera Park area, this entire Stoll Park area, and this wooded area right in here. And finally, we have also done an area canvass of this entire square mile. What an area canvass means is that we have contacted or attempted to contact every single home in this 1 square mile area for information in that particular area. Now, having said that, we have contacted and spoke to the construction workers who were in this area right here working on the Edwards campus. And we talked to a professor who was in that specific area at the approximate time that she was there. We have currently also looked at videotape of all of the intersections that we have videotaped leaving or coming from that location to determine if she left in a car or any other conveyance or was walking by. To date, we have seen absolutely nothing in that area. Having done all of this, we have expended well over 400 man-hours to date in the short time we have been working on it, and we will continue to put significant resources and commitment to this case until we have an ability to solve it. Having said all of that, I think I would be prepared to answer your questions.
Chief, how frustrating is it that there's no surveillance video from the campus itself?
Well, it would be remarkably better if we had it, but you know, there's a host of available video opportunities. Unfortunately, we haven't found her on any of them.
Do you think she's still in the area?
We have no way of knowing. You know, there's so much we don't know about the case that I have no way of telling whether she is or she isn't.
What kind of help are you getting from the FBI? What kind of assistance did you request from them?
Well, the FBI has broader based powers than we do, and they can move across the country much easier and out of deference to our own investigation and some of the wishes of the family, we thought the FBI's assistance would be helpful. So they've assigned four agents to the case.
Can you tell us any more about a description, Chief, of the person that was harassing her?
Well, it's very sketchy, and we're really not sure what that means. On the audio tape that some of you have received, you hear her say there was a confrontation, that he may have tried to kiss her or something like this, and that she hit him and he ran away. But that's basically all the information that we have.
Do you
What
believe
about
this
the
is a
phone?
kidnapping?
I'm sorry?
Do you now believe this is a kidnapping?
We have no idea. We're not going to speculate on what it is until we have evidence to support that.
This is the list of,
The telephone, you know, in past cases, we've heard about trying to trace the things. I mean, where does that part of the investigation go?
Well, we have looked at all the telephonic devices, all the social media. We are examining those. Folks from the RCFL are assisting us with that. We are looking at Facebook entries, Twitter entries, telephone pinging, any kind of lead that we can receive through any of those electronic methods are being analyzed as we speak.
can you give us a timeline from the time this young lady supposedly left that message for her sister to the time you got a call from campus police? How much time passed?
You know, I'm not really certain. We are working on a timeline of all events. I do know that we had a professor at the university observe her out there at the approximate time that this would have happened, but he didn't see anything. So it's hard to, you know, he saw her but did not see any other individuals. So it's hard to exactly know what time these sequences came about. We're working on trying to establish.
Just to clarify, she is not a student at the KU Edwards campus.
My understanding is she is a student at the Johnson County Community College, but there are cooperative agreements with the University of Kansas to use educational space on the KU campus.
Okay, Chief Douglas, can you say if anyone, like the construction workers, if they actually saw her? Like, did anyone see her sitting?
The three of the construction workers remember seeing an individual matching her description walking away from that building to the northwest by herself. I would caution you to understand that seeing an individual and knowing for a fact it is her are two different things. But we have that piece of information that we also have from the information we gained.
Chief, is there any indication that she decided to leave on her own and created this story as a cover-up?
We have no information either way. We have no information that, for a solid information that it was an abduction, and we have no information that it wasn't. So the TAC is very clear and very careful. You proceed with the worst case scenario, and you keep going that direction, because if in fact she left on her own, then okay, she's okay, and that'll be fine. But in case she has a problem or she's in trouble, we want to find her.
There's
Right
nothing
now-
suspicious, Chief, like about recent bank activity of hers?
Not that I know of.
Right now, is it classified as a missing persons case? What do you have this listed as?
We are looking at it as a missing person case, and we're putting the resources into it as if it was an abduction.
And what about this person who she says came up to her? She described that he smelled like he'd been smoking marijuana. It seemed like he was bothering her. Did anyone else see this person?
We have not established anyone who has seen them as of yet.
In general, does it strike you as unusual that someone who tells of that kind of encounter on the phone to a sister might not have called security on campus or called for police or something, but just called a sister if there was some sort of, or is every case different and you can't base response?
Maria, I think that's exactly the issue. In 38 years of doing this, everything is different, and trying to attach a norm to people's behavior always gets me in trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to act on this as if it were an abduction. We're putting resources into it to deal with it accordingly. If it turns out otherwise, then so be it. But right now, that's how we're looking at it, and that's the effort we need to put into it.
What do you take away from having listened to the call and the message she left for her sister, the sound of the voice, the words that were used, the message that is there, and analyzing that, what do you get from it?
You know, we have a whole staff looking at that and trying to listen to the background noises, but I'm really not in a position to speculate.
What do you need next in terms of from the public, from the family, from any kind of tips? I mean, what's the next step here?
Well, I think that continued community involvement is important. We need to remember that this person is 19 years old, but not much more than a child. and one of our own is missing. We need to find her. And anything the community can do to help that effort will be much appreciated.
Perhaps you can clarify this, we also understand this young lady is married, have you talked to the husband? Is the husband in the picture at the moment? What do we know about that?
She is married. Her husband is here, and she was living with him at a house in Old Latham. If your question is he a suspect or a person of interest? There's no reason to believe that.
You have talked to him?
Yes, we have.
Is there a reason why the media is not putting a ticker underneath on their TV shows?
There has been one, but I would have to direct that question to them. But there has been, I noticed that there's been several of those out there.
Any suspicious vehicles in the area? You have no,
No, we haven't. We haven't seen any vehicles. We haven't had any reports of vehicles or any of those kinds of things.
so
Okay.
when was she last seen? What was the time?
I'm sorry, it was shortly, it would be on the timeline, and I apologize, I don't have that specific information. As a last point of reference, we have no other press conferences scheduled at this time. However, if you have additional questions or information, we do have our press information officers standing by who you should be given a number that you can call. And in the future, should any thing develop, it will be our intention to notify you, certainly after we notify the family, but as soon as we can practically after that. Thank you very much.